Welcome to Behind the Badge with your special guest, Lieutenant Williams, your news source for all things police in the city of Fond du Lac.
It's KFIZ today on a Friday, Behind the Badge, our weekly visit with the Fond du Lac Police Department. Lieutenant Ryan Williams in studio. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I am doing good, busy as usual, but weather's nice, so we'll take it.
We are absolutely loving the weather. Hopefully it's here to stay all the way until November.
Yes, definitely.
Probably not. Big week this week. It's Police Week.
Yeah, I think our Facebook page, our chief does a lot of our Facebook page stuff right now. Did a really good job talking about Police Week, so I'd like to share some of that and then kind of talk about personally what Police Week is and what it means to me and all that. So first, what it is, and as written on our Facebook page, it says, in 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed the first proclamation recognizing May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which it falls as National Police Week to honor officers who have fallen in the line of duty and recognize the sacrifices made by the families of those officers and the families of those who continue to protect and serve our communities. So basically, it's a whole week of police activities is basically the Memorial Day for police officers. And down in Washington, D.C., this whole week, they have several different activities kind of that honor police in kind of different ways. For, I think it's about 8 of the past 10 years, I would usually go down to Washington, D.C. during this week. I participated in Police Unity Tour bike ride, which was basically a ride to raise funds for the National Law Enforcement Memorial, which is the only memorial in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of memorials that continuously adds names every year, unfortunately. And so I did that for 7 of those 8 years, and then 1 year I rode for another bike ride called Law Enforcement United, which raises money for the COPS organization. COPS stands for Concern of Police Survivors. And the COPS organization basically helps families of officers that die in line of duty and co-workers and other people with dealing with the tragedies. Both of those biking outfits end in Washington, D.C. on May 12th. And that's basically the kickoff of Police Week. And from that day on, like I said, there's different activities, but the big one is on May 13th, they actually have a candlelight vigil. Now, the candlelight vigil used to be down at the Law Enforcement Memorial, and it got too big for it. And now they hold it out in the Capitol, and it's crazy. It covers like lots and lots of area, and there's when they do light the candles, it's amazing. It's an amazing sight to see. They have like bands, some big dignitaries are down there, and they read every single name that's going onto that wall every year. So this last couple of years, because of COVID and things of that nature, there's been a lot of names. Typically, there'll be about between 125 and 170 names added on the wall. In the last couple of years, there's been over 300. Wow. Now things have hopefully stabilized a little bit. That number's down just a little bit. So we're trending that way, and that's because we're not seeing the COVID-related deaths. But in Wisconsin, we're trending the wrong way. So Wisconsin last year, we only had one person who was a correctional officer, which is rare for a correctional officer to die in line of duty. But this year already we've had 4. And the alarming thing about the 4 that died in the line of duty, we had 1 from Milwaukee, 2 in the same incident over on the west side of the state, and then another one just recently on the west side of the state. And they were all from felonious assault. So they were shot in the line of duty. That's a pretty disturbing trend. What we used to see in the past is that more officers would die in car wrecks than being shot in the line of duty. And we have to drive fast certain things, and there has been initiatives to make sure that officers are wearing their seatbelt all the time and all this, and you're like, well, officers should be wearing their seatbelts, but you also have to remember there's situations where we wouldn't wear it because we have to get out of our car fast.
Sure.
They They call our car a coffin on some things because like you get trapped in your car, you can't get out. But yes, most of the time we should be wearing our seatbelt in most situations. So we're seeing a disturbing trend, and definitely in Wisconsin, 4 is a lot, and we just have started the year. So hopefully that trend stops suddenly. So we talk about Law Enforcement Week. There's a lot of things that happen in Police Week, but then there's something that happens locally as well. So locally on yesterday, last Thursday, we have a local law enforcement memorial. Do you know where it's at?
It is Hamilton Park?
Yep, Hamilton Park. So Sophia Street kind of dead ends right there, and it's kind of neat. So there's almost like a round turnaround there, and right at that portion there's actually our memorial. And at that memorial, we have a ceremony every year at this time and kind of honor our fallen officers locally that have died on years past. And on that memorial is William Prinslow's name, Nick Klasky's name, Craig Burkholz, and Joseph Kerr. And also, even though not a member of the Fond du Lac Police Department, but unfortunately was killed in the line of duty in Fond du Lac, is Trevor Casper's name as well. And during the ceremony, besides William Prinslow, who his death was a very long time ago, there's a representative from all those families that attend that. So it's pretty amazing, like that their family still, come and honor their loved ones, because it's such a tragic event to lose an officer, and so Joe Kerr, when he died a COVID-related death. All the other ones were felonious assaults, and so being shot in the line of duty. So very tragic ending in all cases, and it means a lot to the family to honor their loved ones in such a way, and you can tell it means a lot because they show up every year.
Right.
But it's also a way for our existing officers to realize what it's all about. That law enforcement's a dangerous job, and that there are prices that we have to pay to do our job, and some people have paid those ultimate prices, and we need to honor them because they gave their life for the cause, and the cause is to save citizens, to save people from people that wish to do them harm out there.
To protect and serve, as they say.
Yes, to protect and serve. Right after that, so the day after that, so there's Thursday, there is the local memorial. On Friday, the state of Wisconsin they have a memorial down in Madison. So today, they will honor law enforcement officers from Wisconsin at the Madison Memorial. Kind of a cool thing this year is that our own chief of police, Aaron Goldstein, is the keynote speaker for that memorial. So hard year to do it since we've already had 3 line of duty losses, but yeah, he'll be the keynote speaker down there. I unfortunately will not be down there today because we actually have a new officer that's graduating as well on Friday. So there's a lot going on Friday.
Yeah, it's a
It's
day.
a busy day. We also have an in-service going on and lots of other stuff. So, so it's that's the Wisconsin. And then the national memorial will be on the actual day. So they will actually have a ceremony on the, they've changed it before. I believe it has been on the White House grounds, but I believe it's on the Capitol grounds now, where they have all the families of the fallen, as well as coworkers, and often the president speaks. Now, unfortunately, it depends on political party,
Right.
whether the president's going to speak or not. I will say that, like past presidents, I did see Obama speak myself there. He came 1 year out of his 8, and Donald Trump was there, and I don't know if Biden will be there or not this year, but it does kind of show. It's nice to have that support from the top. Personally, usually if you show up, are not as politically motivated.
Right, of course.
But one thing I always thought about that was interesting there is, so I go to I've been to one. I went when Craig was there. I went to it, and obviously I'm dressed in my honor guard uniform, law enforcement stuff, and I have my weapon like on me, and I just felt awkward that I'm like this close to the president with my weapon, and obviously I have no ill intentions or nothing, but I'm sure they're behind the scenes. They have already done all these checks on everybody and all this stuff, but I'm just like, it's weird. Like, you're like, I shouldn't be able to be this close, right. So that was kind of an eye-opening thing for me. Obviously no ill intentions there. So one of the coolest things down on Law Enforcement Week is they have a Pipes and Drums parade every year, and there's a lot of effects from bagpipes in law enforcement desks, because they always play bagpipes at law enforcement funerals. I know survivors of loved ones that they can't even listen to bagpipes anymore, because it brings up those feelings. But these Pipes and Drums band, this parade is just amazing. So it's band after band of bagpipes and drums, and then they all meet at the Law Enforcement Memorial, and they kind of all know like the same song. So it's like hundreds of pipes and drums standing around like playing songs and stuff, and it's cool. Like, it's very overwhelming.
Oh, I bet that's powerful.
So yeah, if you ever go down to Washington D.C. during this week, just know that the town is taken over by police. We took a tour down to D.C. during this week, and the tour guide, and I can't say this is a substantiated fact, but the tour guide says, I always hate police week because all these cops come down here and they drink all the beer and take all our women. I can't say if that's true, but there is a lot of law enforcement there, and you'll be hanging out at taverns or restaurants even, and all of a sudden the Pipes and Drums band will just walk in. Like, even in a bar where it's like shoulder to shoulder, they will find their way and they'll get in. Big bass drum, all that. They'll come in and they'll always play, the Amazing Grace. And if you ever are in a bar and that happens, you act like it's basically the national anthem. You take off your hat, you're quiet, and the proper thing is to either just stand still or to hold up. It's like a salute or whatever. But the whole bar just goes silent and everybody just listens, and it's an amazing sight. And it shows how impactful it is that these Pipes and Drums band come in. We know that it means a lot for survivors. It means a lot for law enforcement co-workers and stuff like that. And the fact that they do that, it's just one of the coolest things to see.
That's incredible. Gotta be amazing to witness that.
Yeah, and there's just so much. I always said that every law enforcement officer should at least make the trek one time. Now I've done it 8. I'm trying to take off. It's hard, with 4 law enforcement officers dying this year. It'll be hard for me to take off next year when they're honored. So we'll see if that happens. But we'll see. We'll see. I do like to be there. I have a little bit of experience as far as supporting families that lost loved ones, unfortunately. So if I can help in any way, I definitely want to be there for that.
Absolutely. Appreciate you sharing those stories.
Yeah. This will bring the end of it. And if you see law enforcement officers, if you saw them this week or into Saturday, our badges will all be banded, which basically means that we wear like a black stripe across our badges, and that's over respect for the fallen. Unfortunately, just a week previously, we lost another law enforcement officer, so during the week until that officer is laid to rest, we also banned our badges. So we do it for this whole week, and then we do it when officers unfortunately die in the line of duty in the state of Wisconsin to honor them.
And
more of a somber tone, unfortunately.
It is. That's all right, though. Hey, a little serious topic. Yes, we appreciate you and your brothers and sisters behind that all wear the badge.
All right. We appreciate it, and we do it because we love what we do.
Awesome. That is Lieutenant Ryan Williams behind the badge, KFIZ today.